What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Tamurkhan the Maggot Lord Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we ventured southward through the path to the east, taking on beastmen, orcs, and ogres alike, to essentially link up with the disciples of Hashut, Chaos Dwarfs. I don't know why I said it like that, Chaos Dwarfs. We've effectively created a road between the two factions of the Chaos Dwarfs, Zatan and Astrogoth, and hopefully we can keep them both friendly and paying us a nice toll to cross the mountains, in theory. Anyway, we do have Grimgor to the south of us, who was to be our next targeted, but unfortunately ARCHAON has thrown a bit of a wrench into our plans, although Dorgar is still best boy. You get pets, Dorgar. Yeah, so Archie has arrived at the north. We can't defend the Gallows Tree and will likely have to hold in the plains of Zhenbaijin. Frankly, it is a full army, but at the same time, we should have walls here at Zhenbaijin, and the AI is pretty terrible at taking walled settlements. So anyway, we're going to change our plans a little bit. Tamurkhan will instead venture northward towards Epidemius and then loop back down and start his journey towards Nuln, and will probably make another lord to start moving through the mountains and taking off Grimgor, or taking on Grimgor. Probably rather than bouncing around between the two like this, as we do have to knock ARCHAON out. Now that he's at war with us, he's probably never gonna be friendly, so it is what it is. Does he only have this territory? Yeah, he only has the Riding Fortress, so it should be fairly quick to destroy him once his armies are gone. Tamurkhan, get on it. Now, let's see what we gotta do this turn before we can end it. Hudakai Demon Tamer, you could stay here, or we could have you move up north with us. You know what, stay here for now. We may use you to recruit things. And speaking of recruiting things, we'll probably want to get the Barons of the Bog in here, but since Archie can't reach the plains of Zhenbaijin this turn, we can do that next turn. Let's get the Unclean Cops here. We obviously don't need to upgrade the Gallows Tree. And here, let's upgrade Saber Mountain. Yes, we do have income being generated and a little bit of growth being generated, but we can get a few more military buildings so that we can actually get, well, troops on field as needed. Anyway, that, I believe, is that, or at the very least looks good to me. We can skip the rest of this and the turn and then proceed to fighting ARCHAON. Yes, alrighty. I'm getting distracted by my Tamurkat, who is running around in the background. Sorry if you guys hear him meowing in the background, but, well, it happens on occasion. Anyway, Archie's gonna strike, and we're going to allow that auto-resolve. And he is going to give it to his little minion faction, which is as expected. Also, we did reach the engagement threshold, so we'll be doing an hour-long episode for this particular episode. And if we should reach the same threshold again, 400 likes and 60 comments, the next episode will be an hour long as well. Let's pop both heroes into this army, just so that they can do a little bit of work on Archie's forces. And what do we have in terms of items here? I don't really care for Scepter of Stability or Earthing Rod, though I suppose Archie does have access to Searing Doom, basically off the bat, which he will be dropping on our forces, so he could, in theory, get some use out of the Scepter of Stability, though frankly I'd like to swap it, or fuse it with the Earthing Rod into something better. I'll still probably do that. Anything interesting armor-wise? I mean, I don't want to risk losing items, but I feel like we probably won't. Maybe I'm... Maybe I'm being too risky with it. I think what we could do, though, is we could give the Plague Flail briefly to you, and just to get a little bit of extra damage. It's not like Tamurkhan is using it for anything right now, and we'll give you the Earthing Rod, but I'm not going to bother with any of the other items. Ancillary-wise, we have no free ancillaries, so you just gotta deal with this as you currently are. Alrighty. You have no additional troops, sadly, to recruit here. And just these guys, but hopefully that's enough. What do we have in terms of defenders? A unit of Plague Toads, some Plague Bearers, and some Nurglings, eh? Could have used some basic troops, but that's all good. Alrighty, the rest of that looks good to me. Tamurkhan, march towards... Well, I guess we'll retake the Gallows Tree on the way here. Hopefully Archie doesn't go this way, but also hopefully we just take him out. Slug Blister. out here, please. And is there anything else we can do? We certainly don't need to drop any plagues. We can do nothing with the chieftains. I suppose we could get a free chariot? Apparently we can't get a free chariot. Is it because somebody's moving? Well, we can get a chariot, but... ooh, we can get a unit of skin wolves. Would like the unit of Fimir, but, you know, skin wolves might help. They're the basic kind, but they're anti-large. Does Archie have any knights with him? He has the Swords of Chaos with him, and you know, Knights of Zace. Yeah, why not? Assuming that other armies can recruit chieftain units, and it does look like they can, well, let's just get a single bonus unit in here. I think it'll help. I was really banking on saving for those Rot Knights, but whatever. All good. Let's get you, and then let's recruit you here, and then we'll probably transfer you afterwards. Lovely. Alright, buildings to be built. Let's upgrade Ice Spewer. Gotta get to this place growing after all. That's why we were saving up all that cash. Let's double check diplomacy, as I do want those Chaos Dwarfs to be our allies, and we do want to confederate the Tallymen. But it doesn't look like that's happening. Warhost of Jar, still at war with these guys, and Disciples of Hashut are not at war with anybody. But I would like to once again check if they'd be willing to fight Archie. Kind of willing, but I'm not willing to give them 8.5k for it. So, we'll fight Archie ourselves, and quite effectively, I should think. Skip, and turn. And let's see what he's got. Will he besiege us and allow Tamurkhan to draw even closer, or will he attack immediately, is a question. Alright, valiant defeat indeed. We've got our troops here, our plague-ridden, our Chaos Sorcerer, and Barbaros Cool, the leader of this, plus our new Skin Wolves, which we will hopefully use to hold the gates against those knights. Our Plague-Bearers probably going to be very busy up on those walls, and we'll leave Nurglings below. Now let's hope we don't get a desync, because I'm excited about the fight.
We will bring the true power of the Plague Father to bear.
Alright, here we go. We got our Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle here, got a Plague Sword, and go figure a Plague Staff of some kind, and looking pretty nice. I like the featureless faceplate, though for Nurglite units like Nurglite Exalted Heroes and stuff, well, I really like their asymmetry, and generally speaking, as I like asymmetrical Chaos designs in particular, kind of like the horns on Plague Bearers and antlers and stuff on them, and the Great Unclean Ones, and the same thing, obviously, for the various Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. But anyway, I digress. We are under attack, and the enemy will hit our walls from two separate sides. We set up all of our Plague Bearers on top of the walls, drawn out in big old lines like this. There's two reasons for this. One, because we don't have enough troops, since Nurglings can't be up on walls for whatever insane reason. It makes no sense to me. You're telling me they're too small to climb the stairs, but they're all in blobs and can help each other climb. It's kind of like ants. I really don't see any reason why they can't be up on the walls, but anyway, it's probably just a matter of limitations of the engine or something like that, or perhaps the way that their units work. Anyway, since we don't have a lot of units, we spread our Plague Bearers out to get as many towers up and running as possible, as they're going to start doing damage, which they already are. The other reason is ARCHAON has Searing Doom, and thus we don't want him targeting blobs of our units, or if he does, we don't want it to be the relatively limited Plague Bearers that are going to be needed to hold the line. Anyway, enemy will head towards us, all while under fire from our Chaos Towers. Obviously, oh, there's that first Searing Doom coming in, and by the size of that circle, looks like an overcast one as well. Fortunately, most of that shot will be wasted, and the enemy will continue moving towards us. The reload rate on the towers seems not all that great, but that's okay. It does seem to be knocking out decent amounts of the Chaos Warriors. The Cornate Halberds here, as still odd as it seems to be seeing Khorne units with Halberds rather than dual axes, are at about 55% of their HP. But we are specifically targeting them with well, was two towers and now is one. Here comes another Searing Doom follow-up by the looks of it, this time not Overcast, and generally speaking the non-Overcast one is probably the better cast here against the Nurglings, Plague Bearers, but it looks like our strategy is paying off with few of them taking damage like this. Enemy continues making their way forward like this and are kind of running around towards this location. It looks like Archie wants to... hit this particular gate and is thus sending most of his forces that are not infantry that way. Out here, we've destroyed the enemy Hell Cannon and only its crew remains and are going to sally out our Nurglings just to distract enemies outside of the settlement. This will hopefully keep a bunch of Marauders and Chaos Warriors out here, and the same thing with another blob of Nurglings out here as well, and continue to take fire from our towers. All the while, of course, we are building up additional towers of the second tier. We could have saved up for 2,000 points for an explosive tower, but I figured we'd probably get a better use out of just building as many towers as possible so that they can fire as early as possible, rather than waiting for that explosive tower. Now, obviously, the enemy has these Swords of Chaos, which are a very threatening unit out here, and a unit of Knights of Tzeentch, both of which have to be focused down and destroyed, though fortunately they are taking damage. And the Nurglings are serving their purpose. They're cheap and effective, as I always like to say, like zombies and such. And we are very willing to sacrifice every single one of them. If we trade a Nurgling unit for even half HP off a unit of Chaos Knights, that's very much worthwhile. Now, the enemy is, however, climbing those walls, and that might be a little bit of an issue. Archie is starting to take a little bit of damage, not from the towers, however, but from Spirit Leeches from our heroes. We're going to keep our 3 heroes together as well. The Plague-Ridden, the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, and the Sorcerer Lord, all fighting together. Such that together they can apply more of their splash damage and destroy individual units. Also, the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with that cape looking pretty good as well, and asymmetrical antlers. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, how are we doing here? Chaos Warriors are surrounded by Plague Bearers and getting attacked by all 3 Lords and Heroes, and it looks like this unit of Chaos Warriors is nearly done, while this unit of Chaos Warriors of Khorne has failed. Climbing those walls, being exhausted due to doing so, and then facing off against Plague Bearers. Not of the exalted variety, but good enough to rip them apart with their weapon strength at 71. Plague Bearers may be slow and they may be relatively fragile due to that slowness in part, but they certainly hit damn hard. I mean, they don't quite hit as hard as the Swords of Chaos, for example, but 71 is quite a lot. Anyway, looks like the enemy is making their way through over on the right part of the settlement, but we have additional units in reserve. Our newly acquired Barons of the Bog, Pox Riders, are getting ready to move where they need to. If a gate is breached, we'll send them there, and the Plague Toads being our, well, I don't want to call them fast, one of our faster, let's say, units. They can actually apply themselves as needed. We also got our Werekin on the, or Skinwolves, rather, not led by a Werekin, but Skinwolves on the field, and they do have anti-large. And I'm hoping to apply them to surround and kill/damage a decent amount of enemy large units. Looks like the gate is broken, and ooh, a very, very nice burning head coming in from ARCHAON, hitting a unit of Nurglings and traveling right through them before veering off into one of our unit of Plague Bearers that just got off the walls. I took those guys off there, and wow, I know that the AI didn't do that on purpose, but look at that geometric bounce here. Away from the Nurglings, right into our Plague Bearers, basically twice. Maybe 2.5 times. Very, very nice. Yeah, and again. Oh, I would be so happy with that. Yeah. There's some transferable skills if you play a lot of pool. You know how to bounce a burning head. Anyway, Anyway, looks like the gate is breached and... Okay, flag. Why are you getting in the way of the camera? The gate is breached and the enemy is trying to break in. The Nurglings will try to hold while we send in the Weirkin to try to dish out damage to all those large units. Swords of Chaos, Knights of Tzeentch, Trolls, Armor? No, non-armored Trolls, and a spawn of Nurgle as well. There's the Knights of Tzeentch coming in to back the enemy up. They're all a little bit damaged, and we do have a decent amount of units to put up in the breach, as well as this tower that's going to be firing on them the entire time. For whatever reason, Archie decided not to go over here and has been instead working on this gate over on this side. I think it's because I was not using any spell other than Spirit Leech, and every Spirit Leech was hitting Archie. The biggest problem with Archie as a lord is that he has no form of regeneration, and thus, even though he's incredibly hard-hitting and can obliterate single entities and monsters and heroes and lords with great ease, you can just bring him down, wear him down, I should say. Anyway, it looks like the crew of the Hell Cannon are still attempting to achieve something and have moved up over the walls and decided to try to go for this minor supply location, which would knock out 2 of our towers if we let it. Fortunately, though, like I said, we keep our faster moving units around, and the Plague Toads will react to those crew and prevent them from doing anything. The enemy infantry have by and large broken through now. The Plague Bearers are going to do their best to hold, but we're willing to once again sacrifice a decent amount of them, and just got to keep the enemy from capturing our supply locations. Gotta keep those towers firing. The Pox Riders here working together with a pile of Nurglings. And doing decently well, I might add, as they are facing off against Chaos Warriors, but more importantly, keeping them in place while the towers continue annoying them. I suppose another way to have done this battle would have been to guard the Citadel location instead and build the biggest towers up there. But the problem with this strategy is that it works best when you have faster moving units that can actually retreat. But Plague Bearers can't get off the walls, and it's inefficient to sacrifice the ability to use towers just to be able to do the whole retreat thing. Anyway, looks like our Skin Wolves are doing pretty good. Lots of Knights and the Trolls and Chaos Spawn lying on the ground there, getting ripped apart. Of course, our heroes are working here as well. But it looks like the Skin Wolves were the right move to be summoned here. Though frankly, judging by how this is proceeding so far, we might have been able to win without them. Then again, this is a lot of large units that would otherwise be able to much more easily break through this gate. So who knows? Otherwise, the balance of power is at about 65% in our favor, maybe closing in on 70, but the enemy has clearly absolutely failed to get through this breach. A nice hit from our Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, bringing down the last of the Chaos Spawn. And the Knights and Trolls are booking it on out of there. In fact, the Knights are not, because every single Knight has been killed off, and only the Trolls remain. And it looks like with that, the enemy army will actually shatter. Archie has just broken through that gate, and it looks like right on time his army broke, because he would have gone here and we wouldn't have really been able to stop him without sending everybody away from the gate, which we were starting to do already. But that worked out. Very, very nice. Alright, and this is why I wasn't super worried about this, because the AI is not so great at trying to take the walls, and let's face it, we had a couple of very decent units, 2 additional heroes, and the Pox Riders, and the the Skin Wolves suddenly in here to help out. Lovely. Alright, there we go. Decently easy a little fight. Of course, there was no way we were bringing ARCHAON down, at least not unless he stuck around to get constant Spirit Leeches on him through the rest of the battle, but the rest of his army was very much fair game, and with the exception of Ograx and a unit of Hell Scourges, interestingly enough, they've all gone down. Would have been nice to steal that Festering Shroud. I would have loved that missile resistance for a Nurglish army, but alas, and we did not steal it. Oh well, not a big deal. We got decent amount of money for our reward, and we'll offer the rest as tribute, as is only fitting. Archie will back off, I'm sure, but Tamurkhan has his son hunt now, and we'll hunt him down. I guess we'll be transferring the unit of... Hello, what do we have here? Khazak the Befouled, your most beloved Nurgling greedily suckles upon your pus for far too long. Alas, its tiny, bloated body cannot contain the putrescent bile. It bursts, showering a nearby follower in flesh-eating filth. What a heavenly blessing. Hero action success chance versus Nurglite corruption. I don't think we care about either of these at all. I guess we'll go for Nurglite Corruption, mostly because I don't think we'll be using Khazak as a hero, so the action success chance is probably not going to be of any value to us, and perhaps the Corruption might help once we head to the Empire or to territories with other Chaos Gods and stuff like that, so allow the gore to fester. The foul gut fluids will bubble and burn indefinitely, and your faithful followers shall leave a glistening trail of infection wheresoever they tread. Alright, nice. Construct a cyclical building, gives us some infections. We're up plus 75 now, not bad, not bad. And what do we have here? Another thing, a jealous guardian. Wherever you go, it seems Ketsak Fimdirak follows close behind, desperate to ingratiate himself as your second in command. Attempting to worm his way into your confidences, Ketsak makes his opinion of Khazak the Befouled clear. A fool, Ketsak claims, who he deems too protective and much too small-minded to ever be worthy of your trust. Perhaps he has a point, or are his words as empty as the desperate flattery he doles your way? So we have to side with one of our chieftains here. The Fimir versus Khazak are first here. I'm gonna have to say we side with Khazak here. At the end of the day, where he's our first hero and he's leading our Rot Knight contingent. Plus, I kind of don't like the description of how this guy's just kind of being, well, gross, but not in a good way, not a good Nurglish way. And being a little too schemy, a little too Tzeentch, and Tzeentch is our rival god after all. So side with Khazak. The Fimir is a trifling monstrosity not to be trusted over one of Nurgle's on... Oh wow, that hits hard. That hits hard, especially considering how the Chaos Gods cast the Fimir out in favor of manipulating mankind instead, because the Fimir were less fun. Poor Fimir. Now I feel bad. Well, too bad. Side with Khazak. And we get the defeated Archie trait on Barbaros Cool as well. Guess we'll be keeping you around, good sir. And, oh, I got some Forsaken and Marauders. Could have used those in the defense, but I guess we're okay. We should also try to get that defeat trait on Tamurkhan himself, which we should be able to do so decently easily. Away we go. Do we need to stay in our own territory? I guess not really, so proceed up this way. Just gotta be careful and watch out for, what's his face? Grimgor suddenly declaring war on us. Diplomatic relations with Warriors of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, Chaos Dwarves, Beastmen, and Norska. All quite nice, and when combined with our Nurglish dudes, we should get a lot of, yeah, relationship with this guy. Minus 78 on that Confed, though. Still not looking as good as I'd like. We'll get there, Tallyman. Just don't die. I'm going to be so salty if they die. So salty. But anyway, let's proceed. Select Blister. Keep on... Ooh. Keep on following. We're trying to get killed. I didn't realize Tamurkhan could travel so much further than you can. We should also give Tamurkhan back his Plague Plan. Frankly, the Talisman of Endurance is gonna be... actually... There's not a lot of magical damage from the enemy, so the physical resistance at 15% is also quite nice. I'll think about it. For now, we stick around where we are. You will transfer armies. Well, we can actually have you take the Gallows Tree for Tamurkhan so that he can move past it. I think that's the best way to do it. Yes. Alrighty, let's also take our next tech. We have... Well, maybe if we had Pestiferous Life in that magic item drop chance... wait, I thought it was stealing chance. No, I was gonna say that we could have stolen that item, but no. Melee attack for a bunch of units we don't have. This is, by and large, also units we... Well, we have some of these, but at the same time, charge bonus plus 10 is not that big a deal. Let me just see here. What do we want to go through? Recruit rank... you know what? Let's get that speed for infantry. I do like my speed for infantry. And expert charge defense for demonic infantry is quite nice. Armor for non-demonic infantry. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Does this include Pestigores? It does include Pestigors as well. And this tree will eventually give us the Revelant Malady summoned from beyond, ability to get Plague Bearers summoned, which ain't too bad. Ooh. We got a 20% cooldown reduction of Nurgle and 10% wins a magic cost reduction on Nurgle spells, which means more healing, which Nurgle do love. Alright, but anyway. Anyway, assuming that there are no further buildings to build, there are building, Nurgle Hollow for you, and start getting those guys upgraded. Alright. Rush cycle costs 150. Well, that's not happening. We shall get these guys on the field, but we could do so next turn before we strike. And gotta start building up our complement of Forsaken so Gillator the half-spawn can get on the field and start leading his Forsaken. Otherwise, I guess we're good to go for another turn, and let's start chasing Archie down. Anybody gonna attack us though? Okay, I was waiting for Grimgore to go on by. And Earlf, are you gonna run or are you gonna stay here and die, sir? You're gonna run. Makes sense. As well you should. A Nurglish Familiar for Kazak of the Befouled. We have Sack, Raise, Kislev, Cathay, or Empire. Yeah, that's another good rate. 2,000 infections and 15k money, nice. Yeah, that's another reason to go this way. Alright, fine, we're going this way. That's just fine. You we'll walk towards the gallows tree, we'll auto-resolve it, and then we'll start moving out this way. And I guess you can follow along. Everybody leech XP. See? We're Nurgle. We share. We share the love. We cooperate. Everybody is helping to get everybody else XP. Isn't it lovely? You can auto-resolve this. I would assume this is not going to do too much in the way of damage to us. And indeed it does not occupy. And, oh, we got our Toad Dragon Imbubabolos now. Oh, that's glorious. Oh, we gotta get into a big fight immediately. Can anybody reach this guy? No, but I wanted to see the Toad Dragon in action. Okay, it's coming. An impossibly large and foul reptilian horror, the Toad Dragon known as Bubabolos is as strong as he is perpetually ravenous. Yes. Alrighty, eliminate any lord in battle. Mission successful? I would certainly think so. And another Forbidden Rod. Huh, we get this. And a Talisman of Preservation. Well, that's certainly better than the Dawnstone. Damn, we get items. Province secured Kadatha. That's province returned Kadatha. Let's immediately re-upgrade the Nurgle Hollow, and I guess re-up that Cultist Camp as well. Could have reduced the construction cost on all of these, but oh well, what can you do? Growth needs to be re-upped. Tamurkhan, you can reacquire your Flail and get that Talisman. Plague Flail for you, sir, until you can get your own Black Cleaver. I do like the immunity contact effects, and it's an area buff that's... This is like similar to a Wa buff. I think it's the exact same sort of damage upgrades, at least, and that the Wa does. And melee attack plus 20. Gonna make you hit hard. Alright, let's level you up and let's move on out. Lumbering Horror is not needed, I take it. Because while it is for Toad Dragons, I take it wouldn't apply to Tamurkhan himself, but he's already unbreakable, so it hardly matters. I wonder if the ability uses for... You know what? Let's try... Unspeakable Fineness, we have 3 uses currently. Let's see if it increases at all once we get this. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't, that's one turn. Oh, it does increase, huh? Usually it doesn't apply to lords, but it did this way. I guess it applies to mounts as well. Well, lovely. You're going to move here. I'm a little bit wary of Archie or this guy having another army nearby, so let's not get Barbaros attacked. We can summon more guys. I guess we could do that next turn as well. Oh, but this turn, if we summon them this turn, it'll allow us to heal them. But we'd start losing money, which is the problem. We definitely want the Forsaken. The Nurglings are so cheap, though. Wait, I always forget. Is it faction-wide? Wait, let me just check here. Where is it here? Recruitment help us then for all non-demonicans, because that's faction-wide. It's a faction-wide effect. I wanted to check if it was in Tamurkhan's army in particular, just in case, as it would otherwise necessitate that we summon stuff in his army directly. Anyway, let's get... This is going to be a plus... whatever. It's minus 425, but we need the forces, and this will make us look stronger to our enemies, which will mean less likelihood of them declaring war. Let's also keep building stuff up to get more money. And here we do have those cyclical military buildings now, which means we will be able to keep summoning units as needed. Alright, rest of that looks good. Double check diplomacy again. Disciples of Hush should still liken us, but let me guess, still not want to join in war? No. Come on, man. Come on. Maybe we'll give him some money later, but, well, certainly not while we're losing money ourselves. Anyway, onward to knock Archie out and take his place as the Ever-Chosen, I guess. Just to double check. Oh, I can summon another Nurgling here. Did I just not summon another Nurgling? I always use more Nurglings. I go for it. Minus 502 now. Chieftains, yeah, we only have 2 dominance. That's not gonna happen. Skip, 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 and turn. And let's chase him down. Alright, where is... Well, I take it Archie, because his army is destroyed, will return to... will return to the Writhing Fortress. Earlf will most likely return to the Bleeding Spire, so I guess we'll go for, yeah, then we'll go for Bleeding Spire first, then back up to the Writhing Fortress. Raid a region belonging to the Ecstatic Religions, Hag Grief, or Naggarond. It looks like these guys... No, Tallyman. You just lost the Bilious Cliffs. Okay, okay, whoa. Confederation minus 18 now. Oh, no. Oh, if you get killed, no, please. Hopefully they lose their army without losing their last territory. Clan Ferric likes us. Okay, we have to keep an eye on that every single turn. I am concerned. I am very concerned. Alrighty, so 2 things we want to do. First of all, you know what? Let's send one of our heroes out to scout this way. Let's say the wait, does this Plague Ridden? Yeah, it's the one that buffs stuff, but you're the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, so we want you leveling, and I actually wanted to put you into Tamurkhan's army. Huh. I guess I have to figure out what we want to put in this army in general. Alright, let's swap some units. Let's briefly send this guy up here. I just want to see what's going on. Nobody up here. Okay, perfect. We'll rejoin the army afterwards. Okay, ARCHAON really ran far. Okay, yeah. Alright, then we're free to move as we like. You, Tamurkhan, are going to go into ambush stance. We're going to pop you right here. Slug Blister, you are obviously going to follow while channeling. Tamurkhan doesn't need to channel, and frankly, you don't really need to channel as well. Barbaros Cool, you're going to move here. And you're going to swap some units around. Alrighty, let's give up the Barons of the Bug, and the Skinwolves will obviously transfer units back later on. And... I guess the Forsaken, since we have 2, we also do have the Plague Bearers. I'm kind of inclined to start swapping out the Plague Bearers, though, so that they're all in this one army, and then soon we can get rid of the Nurglings and stuff and put them in the other army. I think this makes more sense. And then we can transfer the Plague Bearers and stuff to Mr. Slug Blister, who buffs them, and thus they'll be stronger, and everybody will be happier. Alright, and oh, I should have given the Sorcerer to him. Alright, you go to here. And then... Oh, we can't? Oh, okay, we'll transfer the Sorcerer next. Oh, actually, we still can, but we need to transfer Nurgling, which we can't do right now. Alright. Mild screw-ups, but only mild, I think. The rest of that looks good to me, assuming that there are no other upgrades, and there don't look to be, and the public order is looking pretty fine. Hudakai, I'm inclined to temporarily delete you and bring you back. It's just that right now you're not serving a purpose. We could use you to recruit stuff once it's available, but for now, you're costing us money. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. And frankly, well, we'll keep 3 for now. We should be able to get money flowing again relatively shortly, so I think we're okay. Skip the rest of this, end the turn. Let's take the Bleeding Spire, and then let's proceed into hunting down Archie. And our second army is already on the grow, so, yeah, we'll be able to split our forces up, and soon hope... Ah! Hello. Mr. Samoth. Samoth Painbringer, perhaps? Or Trainbringer? From the ARCHAON campaign, I still remember him. You're close enough? Are you insane? Okay, well, it looks like we're trying out the old Toad Dragon. Let's say, Kazik the Befuddled, we're leveling you, and we're heading on in. Relentless... No, I think we want to try to get towards Terrific Riders now. Just to double check. This is a decent buff, but it's relatively minor. Chance of plague spreading not so useful to us while we have relatively little infections. Yeah, let's go for more balance. Buff that melee attack and defense, it's the easiest and most sensible of the buffs there. Baleful regeneration, we only have one skin wolf unit so far, but it will apply. Horrible regeneration, I should say. And then lastly, Mournhowl. I still haven't decided between Twisted Flesh and Vicious Assault. Once again, I do feel like Twisted Flesh with the armor could be better for the unarmored skin wolves since we have the basic variety, but on the other hand, this is a lot of additional attack. And I mean a lot, so it could mean we hit way, way harder. I think we were saving up for rank 10, which I guess we can continue to do so, but since there's only 4 points that are needed there, we can more or less ignore 1 point, meaning we'll get Deadly Fangs, and then we'll get the rest in here. Lovely. Alright, the rest of that means Tamurkhan. Go, go, go. Oh, exciting times ahead. And there we go. Low casualties. Well, I'm not necessarily sure I would say that. They have the Mirror Guard, they have the Aspiring Champions in here. There's some scary stuff. And I think they'll still give us a decent fight, even if they are in March stance. Go.
Battlefield is where I grow stronger. I will make them corpses.
Alrighty, here we go. Best boy Bubabolos is now on the field here. I'm so glad that we can get a Toad Dragon early without having to tech up towards it. Tamurkhan, let's see what you can do now that you have your favored mount. Now it looks like the enemy has 2 fire sorcerers on the field, which is potentially dangerous for us, as it looks like they'll be targeting double fireballs at Tamurkhan and Bubabolos. That said, with the regeneration and with the sheer amount of HP that he's got, I don't see this being too much of an issue. Though we do fail to dodge that, and regenerating forces tend to not to like fire spells. It's well, let's just say it's a drop in the bucket of that HP pool. Anyway, let's start moving towards the enemy. We've got a very nice setup with this army and the way that it works at this point in time. We've got Khazak the Befouled leading the Rot Knights and the Chariots over on the rightmost flank. The infantry, of course, Blob, led by our Fimir, I guess, or led by Tamurkhan, depending on how you look at it, because he kind of acts on his own. And back here, we now have Mournhowl, who leads our Skinwolf contingent, who will loop around the enemy to this side in the same manner as Khazak the Befouled and his Rot Knights. They've all got work to do. Of course, the Plague Toads won't be in this army for forever, / the Pox Riders. But for now, well, we gotta work with what we've got. And ooh, we got to get our first breath attack going, the Unspeakable Foulness that we're going to target on a unit of enemy Forsaken of Slaanesh. Let's see how effective this particular thing is, and how much damage it does to a blob of infantry. Obviously, it would be better if the enemy was genuinely blobbed up, but we got 5 uses of this, so we should put it on cooldown as fast as possible. The enemy looks like they want to fire right back at us, meeting puke with fire. And yeah, a lot of the shots will go right past the Forsaken, but all good. And a couple more hits into Tamurkhan, but he can just withstand that and get into combat. Alright, just a few more seconds of prep as we allow the rest of our infantry to close, and now it's time to charge on through the enemy army. And oh, look at that bloody charge. Oh, that was absolutely glorious. Looks like we're going to go after the enemy lord for a little bit, and damn. Oh, I like the ground effects as well. Looks like the Toad Dragons are going to be very enjoyable to watch. The enemy's going to send some Chaos Spawn, and for a second it was some Trolls to try to bail the Lord out.
but I'm not sure it's going to help all that much. And, oh, very nice. Very nice. All right. You've been blessed by the grandfather. Enjoy those absolutely gigantic maggots. I mean, damn. All right. Well, let's, Tamurkhan, let's let him and Bubabolos enjoy themselves a little bit and check out what else is going on the rest of the battlefield. Of course, the enemy is in march stance, so they're going to get absolutely obliterated here, but let's just see. The Rot Knights and Kazakh have charged, destroyed the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes and the Chaos Warhounds, and are now going to head into the Marauders and probably hunt down those Chaos Sorcerers. Fire. Over on this side, same exact thing happened with the Toads and the Skinwolves, who have destroyed the enemy fast movers. And as soon as they're done with all that, they can head in to fighting together with the infantry. Our Fimir is going to cast a Penumbral Pendulum on a blob of enemies, but otherwise we're engaged with said enemies, and, well, we're doing reasonably decently well. I'm sure the Mirror Guard and the Aspiring Champions will be able to dish out some damage to us, but how long with Weirkin and Skinwolves and whatnot, and charging them in the back and crushing them. And Tamurkhan is done with the enemy lord now and has arrived to join the fray and attack the enemy Aspiring Champions. It does look like... It does look like his model will probably sit up on top. He's a little bit too far up by the looks of it to reach enemy infantry when riding a Toad Dragon. But the Toad Dragon has some pretty darn fantastic animations, and I'd say they're a lot more interesting than Tamurkhan's own, so I think this will be pretty enjoyable. I'm really excited to see some sync animations between large units and between the Toad Dragon as well, so I can't wait for us to find some dragons or giants or abominations or whatnot. Which should happen relatively shortly. Hellpit abominations, I mean. Anyway, with that, the enemy army breaks. It looks like only the enemy spawn remain on the field, while the rest of our units will begin the chase. I guess it doesn't really matter that we do, but there's only so many units that can attack the spawn at once. I mean, a few whacks from our armor-piercing Pestigors with their great axes will bring the last of the spawn down, and the battle will be truly ours. I do want to see the animations a couple more times, so even though this is a march stance battle and we don't have to chase, I want to see the Toad Dragon hit the enemy lord a couple more times. There we go. Oh, that must be so frustrating. Because of the ridiculous mass of this thing, it looks like the enemy lord basically gets knocked down with every hit, though that is liable to give him some invincibility frames. And damn, 9,000 mass. Is this the biggest mass unit that that currently exists? That's a big boy. No wonder his charge through that enemy formation of infantry was so disgustingly effective. I can't wait until we have a blob of infantry ready for Tamurkhan to charge through more than one unit at once. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before I tire of this, and we're definitely gonna get a couple of Toad Dragons to back Tamurkhan up so he can charge with a couple of pets as well as Bubabolos. Anyway, he brings down the enemy lord, and let's watch him charge the infantry one more time. I'm still having a lot of fun with this, and maybe get another use out of that unspeakable foulness. Completely necessary, I assure you. Alright, it looks like that it doesn't lead a unit, so it's not particularly useful on a moving target that's moving perpendicular to the Lord, but at least we've blessed the ground with some maggots, so Nurgle, I'm sure, will appreciate it. There we go, a nice charge into the retreating Marauders, and they've made it off the map, and the battle is ours. Well, I was just about to say that that was glorious, and we got a Standard of Chaos Glory, a sign from the gods, I should certainly think. Looks like the enemy gave us a fairly decent fight with their aspiring champions Forsaken and Mirror Guard, but otherwise, there was no way that they were going to stand against Tamurkhan. 15.6k damage on him, and on Bubabolos as well, and I think they won in terms of damage there. Hardly surprising, though the Wirkin at 11k, just recently added, are already showing signs of their effectiveness. I'm really liking this army so far, actually. The fact that we have separate little contingents to essentially deal with specific threats. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Can't wait to get some more of these Plague Ogres on the field as well to be, well, I was about to say to be Tamurkhan's Armored Fist, but that would be the Rot Knights. Blubbery Fist, perhaps, for the Plague Ogres. But anyway, the Standard of Chaos Glory should probably go right in the middle of our biggest blob of units, and I think we're going to put it on the Fimir Ketsak, because Ketsak is always with the rest of the melee troops, so I think that works quite nicely there. Probably not worth to get 37 infections over the money, as we are still building very expensive buildings, on top of the fact that we are also probably going to get more use out of the buildings that give us infections rather than going for infections the standard way. Anyway, what do we have here at the Bleeding Spire, rather? Not too much. I think this one's auto-resolvable. I'd rather head to the Writhing Fortress where ARCHAON awaits for his showdown with Tamurkhan. Slug Blister will have a U attack, I think. Like so. And then Barbaros can follow along. Alright, we'll auto-resolve that in a second once everybody can leech some XP. And ooh, the Festering Stooges Exalted Plague Bearers. Yeah, our Plague Bearer army is already building up nicely. Sorry, Tallyman. And oh, the Dark Elves are heading over there. Wait, I need to look at them again. Was that an end turn? Quick deal. 13.5. Was it 13.5 or was it 18 before? Tallyman, please. What can we do? There's nothing we can offer you, which is the biggest problem. If only we could, like, give you money or something. Or maybe we can still. I don't remember if they removed that or not. You used to be able to give money for confederations, but I think they removed that a little while ago, and now it's no longer a thing. Anyway, growth, we got Plains of Zanbaijin, where we should probably build another military building. Or we could do the cheap infections building for now until we can afford the infections. Yeah, let's do that. Or by afford the infections, I mean afford the, afford the infections for a military building, as we can't afford those as yet either. Also probably want to start building the warpstone traps everywhere, as they will give us access to the, to additional hero capacities of 2 types. And, oh! Wait, you're telling me the garrison now gives us capacity for Exalted Heroes and Cultists? Oh, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Blizzard Peak, we're probably going to have to build a garrison there, so... makes sense. What about you? We can get infections, but I think we'll prioritize growth first, and then into infections second. Seems like the way to go. Go. Of course, most of the growth buildings and a lot of the other buildings will be deleted eventually. It's just that we need to kick off our economy in order to make good use of them. Anyway, we got that additional speed for our units. We can get melee attack for all non-demonic infantry, or we could go back into faction stuff. The fact is, we want to unlock a bunch of stuff here, I'm sure. Actually... There's actually nothing crazy here. I guess the good stuff is past these things, and there's a lot of infections that we'd have to commit to that, so we don't necessarily need to do it right now. Let's head back into military then, and let's try to get towards Revel and Malady. Just to double check, okay, this is upgrading the big demons, and this upgrades the ogres as well, and quite nicely I might add, but until we get them, there isn't too much purpose. And this is for Cav and Flying Cav, which similarly, we don't have a lot of right now. Strain resistance for the mortals. Should be good. Who is going to attack this? Slug Blister, you. Yes, 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 go. Yeah, not a bit of damage there. 233 lost, Feather Foe Torque, and we'll occupy the place, destroying the Cool. Yes? Yes? No, not destroying them. They have another stopping at the Monolith of Bubonicus. That sounds Nurglish to me, because it is, and thus we're going to want to take that for ourselves. Get that growth up and running in our new province real quick. Yeah, collect the income, we need it. And I'm very tempted to upgrade this, but at 2.5k it's quite expensive. On the other hand, the Plains of Zendajin is the least likely of our territories to fall. So, yeah. 2.5k, eh? Just do it. And just do it. You, sir, need to trade the Chaos Sorcerer Uzul to Tamurkhan, because he needs a better Chaos Sorcerer than Ketsak. I'm sorry, Ketsak, but it's true. And take the Nurglings away. I'm honestly tempted to take the Frolicking Bubonikers away as well. And in fact, just like the other campaign, I always call them the Frolicking Bubonikers instead of the Frolickers Bubonics, so the Frolicking Bubonikers. Though to be fair, they're more likely to die in this campaign than they would be in an SFO campaign, so who knows how long we'll be keeping them around. I mean, until 10 turns until they revive, that is, but anyway. You have a bunch of upgrades. You need to join Slug Blister's army. He's got a half an army now, and just a few more Plague Bearers, and he'll be good. We'll need to start saving up Forsaken, though they cost money. And as soon as we have half an army worth of Forsaken in combination with half an army worth of Chaos Spawn, we'll get Gulator on the field. Unassigned skill points are fine for now, as we need to head to the Writhing Fortress. Let's end the turn. I'd love to knock out Archie for good in this particular episode. Alright, Tallyman, please don't die out there. You want peace now, do you? That's adorable. You really shouldn't have attacked us, man. What do we have here? Ooh, research rate versus casualty or punishment. Both good, but I think I'd like the research rate. For 7 days and 7 nights it rains, and the crumbling sewers below ground prove unable to cope. Their fetid contents erupt from the earth, flooding the land in reeking waste. How best to avail yourself of this sensational opportunity? Obtain samples. The filthy floodwaters contain generations of waste, and this will be a breeding ground for manifold new and wondrous diseases. Truly, this is a miracle of science. I like that. The casualty or punishment is very, very nice as well. We replenish fairly decently in Tamurkhan's own army right now. I'm hoping that this will allow us to skip a turn, though... actually, at 20% it won't, will it? Because currently we... Currently we have no techs that take 5 turns, or at least none of the ones that we're doing, do we? The ones we currently have only take 4 turns. And I don't know if it rounds up or rounds down. But I also don't remember whether we have any research rate of our own. You know, let's try it and let's just hope and pray to the grandfather. Let's see, what is this? Oh, yeah, good. Let's see. No, yeah, see, it didn't reduce it by any because we're at 120. We need to get another 5% from somewhere. But from where? Well, we could get a student, but oh well. Alrighty, so in the meantime, we need to approach the Writhing Fortress. Let's do this. You're gonna go into ambush stance. Right here. And hello, whoa. Alright, ooh, Archie's got stuff outside. We've got a little army right here as well. Alright, you, stay here. We could knock out this guy and his stupid pile of marauders. That would be just swell. There's a decent likelihood that he tries to move down here, but if he can't see Tamurkhan, that's okay. You, sir... Actually, Slug Blister, you might be the more tempting foe. Drop you into a camp stance right here. Barbaros, sit here, and we'll see. And depending on where these guys go, hopefully these two stay here as well, so we can force them into a field battle. And with Tamurkhan, we got more Plague Bearers available. Oh wow, 193. Why are they so cheap here? Huh? 110? Huh. Oh, it's because of Tamurkhan's aura of anything nearby him being reduced. Yes. That's nice. It's very nice. I'm not sure that we can afford them right now, though. I am tempted by the additional unit of Forsaken to prepare Gulator's way, however. On the other hand, one of our buildings should allow us to get Chaos Warriors soon, and perhaps we save the space for that. And there's a decent... recruitment cost reduction. decent argument to be made for that. Festering Pit for you will need the additional little defenses here, but frankly, it's not going to hold against the full stack either way, which is dangerous for us. You can get income. This is a cash cow province for now and will remain as such. You're our military province, and you will remain as such, and you can increase the growth further, I suppose, but at 1350, it's a little bit on the expensive side. Control, and do we get additional growth? We do. And that could pump up our growth and thereby pump up our money. But will it pump up the jam, is the real question. I'm so stupid. Alright. Alright, let's just upgrade these. Keep pumping up the jam and building up the province. Just upgrade you as well. So you gotta spend money to make, I don't know, Plague. Confederate 2.7. Oh, he's in trouble. Malice has a full stack nearby. Oh no. Please.
This tallyman recognizes you.
Wait, if we... Wait. Can we do anything? If we give you money, Confederate is off the table, then damn, 3. What do we gotta do for this? Declare war won't work. We don't want vassalization. And in fact, declare war would be bad in the sense that it would probably make him feel stronger. Man. If he dies next turn. Alright, well, let's hope he doesn't. I mean, I suppose eventually the mod will come out and we'll still be able to get him back via the mod, but I would prefer not to have to use it because I'm not a big fan. But anyway, let's upgrade and then let's move. You can get hard to hit. Still gonna try to get towards Fetid Stench for now, and you know what, everybody else needs upgrades, but frankly, I doubt that this ambush thing is gonna work, so let's just end the turn, and let's see. Alright, please don't die, Tallyman. Malice has moved. Let's see if we can find the Tallyman icon somewhere up here, because if it's gone... Cooler gonna run. Something in the water. Alright, they're not destroyed. They're not destroyed yet. Confederation. Oh, thank you, game. Ah, okay. Epidemius, you have arrived. Well, not yet, but you will have arrived soon. Does this hurt our control? Yes, -4, but unfortunate. Raid a region belonging to the enemies hardly matters. Oh, you got a little army. You got a little army that's going to be dead in 2 seconds, which means we can steal the Armor of Fortune from you, because you're not surviving this one. Is there any way we can make you survive this? Maggot Host and Tallyman, no, you can't land, can you? If you could land, you probably could survive. But if you're going to die no matter what, because Malice will declare war on us, I think we just want to take away the chance of him destroying this. How long until Epidemius joins the field? 5 turns. What are the defenses in the Forest of Decay like? We do have a money thing here, a money pit, whatever. We may want to immediately start getting the Spiked Palisade, as this place will be alone, and Epidemius needs to start working on, well, the Dark Elves nearby. And since you are dead, you can't land here. Damn, I was hoping we could land on the Monolith of Flesh. These are all Plague Bearers that would otherwise cost money to summon. I mean, we could risk it. Maybe they'll survive. I doubt it, but maybe. Alice doesn't hate us right now. Alright, let's try it. Start moving this way if you can live. I doubt it, but who knows. That would be swell. I'm willing to part with the 835 money for a turn of that. Anyway, we're gonna get Epidemius on the field in a little bit. I think we're not going to delete this. Tempted to delete this in favor of the Palisade, though. But it is 300 money per turn, which we need right now. Although with additional troops, we can certainly hold ground like we did against ARCHAON. Do we risk it, though? We can always build this back. You know what? Let's delete it for now, and we'll see afterwards. Alright, what about this? We can reach this guy. The question is, will the enemy sally out to fight? And the answer is I don't know. What we do want is you to follow. And hopefully you don't get in the way. I'm actually going to pop you into March Stand so that you can go right here. I would really prefer a field battle. Oh, maybe we shouldn't get the second army coming in with all the little plague bearers and such. Too late. Alrighty, let's level everybody up and let's head on in. The water's fine. What do we get for you? Let's get more balance. We can actually get another Rot Knight now, but at this point I think we can just get the next chieftain instead. Well, we should probably get terrific riders instead. Or as well, rather. Weapon strength versus recruitment cost, that's probably not as useful. Let's get more power into terrific riders. You. Might of the Swamp, Miasma of Despair, and Evasion. I mean, jerks are likely to try and kill you, but let's get Miasma of Despair specifically for that. And you, sir, have got your main... you've got your main things now. Relationships with Norska. Armor for Aspiring Champions, Marauders, Marauder Horses, Chaos Knights, Chosen, Chaos Warriors, and Chaos Chariots. Does not include Rot Knights, sadly. So it's like, it'll be nice for a very infantry, like a classic Nurglite army, eh? Yeah, we could do like a classic Chaos Warrior, Knights, and Wyrkin army with you, if needed. But anyway, we'll get that, and then Wolf of the Wastes gives buffs for various monsters, including Fimir, Mammoths, well, basically every single type of monster. Oh, and interestingly enough, Forsaken and Spawn, damn. There's a lot of good buffs in there, and all the buffs go to various units. There's so many options for what we can do with these chieftains, which I'm really happy about. Anyway, you can get Miasma of Pestilence, definitely Children of Nurgle, and I always spam Curse of the Leper whenever I can, and occasionally Stream of Corruption as well, so we'll want both of these. And we'll hold off on all this stuff as well. And obviously, we're trying to get you Fleshy Abundance. We don't need the Pestering Stooges. Let's see if Archie will fight out. Do we need to upgrade you or level you? Yes, we do. More points into Fleshy Abundance, always worth a level. And yeah, I guess you can get to 1 point in Blight Boil rather. Frankly, I don't see it being used in this particular battle, but who knows. Replenish troops for you, Miasma of Pestilence, and more. Children of Nurgle, always cast and always healing, and this is the way. Go to Mr. Hivald here. He's going to peace out, cute. And he will fight. He will fight, and he will die. Alright, Archie, I do love ya, but you have to be destroyed.
The battlefield is where I grow stronger. I will make them corpses.
Alrighty, here we go. I like the corrupted ground effects from Bububolo / the Toad Dragon. That's always nice. Kind of reminds me of the Mutalith, the Vortex Beast, and a few other things that leave a path where they walk. Anyway, here we go. We face off against ARCHAON at last. He needs to be destroyed, punished for attacking us here. And by the looks of it, we're doing this on a pretty cool map. I like all the ice caves we've got on this one. I actually do remember fighting on this map before, but I always take a look at this side and didn't notice the ice caves on this one. Yeah. Always a good idea to take a look at the maps. The devs did put a lot of work into many of the maps, and they do look pretty fantastic, don't they? I also really love the Realms of Chaos maps, but anyway, I'm getting distracted. We have now a lot of fast-moving units available to us in this particular army, and thus we'll send them forward. The Rot Knights, the Skin Wolves, the Toads, the Ogres, the Pestigores, our brand new Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, who I'm probably going to rename, and, of course, our Toad Dragon, though I guess Tamurkhan was fairly quick as well. Before he had a mount, I mean. Anyway, we've separated all of our fast-moving units from our much slower rest of our forces, who are going to await ARCHAON's arrival while we hopefully destroy this little army out here with Tamurkhan. Tamurkhan's going to charge the most threatening unit on the field, probably the second most threatening unit after ARCHAON himself, the Severed Claw. This will allow us to charge the rest of the enemy units, the Blue Horrors with our Toads, because that's their best matchup, as the Toads are fragile. Ogres are going to move in to help, and we'll get a little bit of armor-piercing action from our Pestigors on those Severed Claw, though we do once again still have to be careful with them, as they're a very, very difficult unit to kill. Or at least they should be. The Chromatic Aberrations are basically done for. The Severed Claw have killed one unit. I think it was actually an Ogre. Yeah, 15 out of 16. Have killed one unit and are down to about half of their HP, though we do have Tamurkhan to thank for a lot of that. The Rot Knights and Skinwolves are working together now to obliterate the enemy piles of Chaos Spawn and surround and kill the enemy Chaos Sorcerer as well. He has cast a couple of Searing Dooms at this point. There was the second one, and we certainly don't want him casting anymore. The Severed Claw are now broken, and the enemy reinforcements will arrive on the field in a mere couple of seconds. Let's allow these guys to work a little bit more on that Chaos Sorcerer, who is now surrounded, and I think our units are getting in each other's way a little bit. Always the issue of going after an infantry lord or a hero when you have bigger units like this, as they interfere with each other oftentimes, more often than would otherwise be if a single hero was running the enemy down. Anyway, we do want to make sure that the Severed Claw are fully destroyed here, so we will keep attacking them until they die, but we will move Tamurkhan and Bibabolos to meet ARCHAON and Dorgar in combat. And there we go, the Ever-Chosen will start off with a burning head through our lines, and the two will meet on the field of battle. Nice little leap forward by oh my lord. Would have been hilarious if you just instantly swallowed ARCHAON. That's what it looked like was gonna happen. Though, to be fair, ARCHAON or Dorgar would, either one would be more powerful enough to just break out of the stomach of whatever swallowed them. Alright, and there we go. The contest will begin. ARCHAON's going to have to contend with Covered being in a lot of vomit and maggots after this, but, well, the two will exchange some blows. Looks like they're trading roughly evenly for now. We were a little bit damaged already from fighting the Severed Claw with their anti-large, but that's alright. Unfortunately, ARCHAON has called most of his army to his aid, including, by the looks of it, fast movers to go after Tamurkhan, so he's going to get Khazak the Befouled to move in and get a few hits on Archie as well, and then help out against the others. We are also thus going to have to reposition our main force, as it looks like the enemy army wants to fight here in the center rather than where most of our units are concentrated. Our own reinforcements have arrived on the field as well in the form of the very slow-moving Plague Bearers and Nurglings, and will move to reinforce in the next several hours, because I don't know if they'll get here in time. Working on Prince Sograx now, though he is going to take quite a bit of an effort to bring down, and if he wasn't currently over there and wasn't currently surrounded, I would have sent Khazak the Befouled to duel him while Archie fought Tamurkhan. Looks like Tamurkhan's getting hit with some, was it throwing axes, or yeah, throwing axe marauder horses. Some Hell Scourges have moved in to help out and apply poison to us, rude. And looks like some trolls as well. Archie, would you just stay with the one-on-one duel, please? And back there, it looks like the enemy lord has been killed by Mournhowl. Well done, sir. And Archie is in pretty bad shape at this point. Frankly, Archie does outstat Tamurkhan pretty significantly and would generally be able to... Well, here's the thing. So Archie can hit really hard and do a lot of damage, but he's going to have a lot less HP, and then Tamurkhan doesn't. I mean, a lot less HP, and then a lot less effective HP because of the regeneration available to us and the spellwork and other Nurgle capabilities. We should just be able to outlast ARCHAON in a straight-up fight. Though I have to wonder whether a level 50 ARCHAON, completely maxed out, would be able to fight a level 50 Tamurkhan. That would be actually an interesting contest between the two. Who would outlast who? Or rather, would ARCHAON be able to outkill all the healing capabilities, essentially? Is the question. In theory, he might, but it won't happen in this particular battle as Archie is gone down to 700 HP, and a couple more hits will surely bring him down. The rest of the battle is going decently in our favor. Frankly, the rest of the enemy army is going to have a pretty tough time here. And getting a few casts on, Penumbral Pendulum 1 through the enemy line, and Marauders and Chaos Warriors, and Penumbral Pendulum 2 to follow, though our rightmost flanking units of Forsaken are having a bit of a tough day. Hardly surprising, though, as the flank is oftentimes the most dangerous position for an infantry unit. There we go. Nice Penumbral Pendulum through that blob of Marauders and Chaos Warriors, which will hopefully allow our own units to charge forth. Archie down to 600 HP, and Tamurkhan's been taking throwing axes for the entire length of the duel here, but it hardly matters. It is going to be an issue that he is something like a big old target, so when we fight things like elves and other range-heavy units, they're all going to be targeting him. Hopefully we can stack enough range resistances so as to not suffer massive damage to that. Anyway, looks like Archie will actually flee the field, and it may actually be a good idea to not chase him down and let him do so, as that would enable us to maybe kill him again and get his defeat rate on another Lord. It's a very solid defeat rate after all. Not as good as the SFO variant as I recall, but still pretty decent, even in vanilla. And thus we'll take it again. Anyway, with Archie done and with with his army heavily damaged, it looks like the rest of them will shatter and the battle will be ours. I devoted most of that battle, let's face it, to Archie versus Tamurkhan, but that I think was appropriate, especially since we'll see these guys obliterating infantry quite a lot more over the next few episodes. Anyway, we're going to do as much chasing as we can to make sure that we can auto-resolve the next fight, but it looks like we're good. Alright, well, there you have it, folks. The Ever-Chosen himself falls to Tamurkhan and is punished for attacking us while we were busy in the south. Unbelievable, Archie. Should have waited until we came to you. But anyway, looks like we did very well here, though we did take plenty of damage on the Rot Knights. They did also dish out plenty of damage. We could get our second unit of them immediately, but once again I think we'll save for the next chieftain. Gotta get the whole gang together after all. Otherwise we got a little bit of damage on the Pestigors and some of the Forsaken, but well, they're more fragile damage dealer units, so that's hardly surprising. Battle went very nicely. We have little in the way of money on offer for us here, so I think we're not going to take that. We'll want to auto-resolve the remnants of this, but I was about to say, I don't know whether we can actually reach it or not, the settlement, I mean, so do we risk that? You could heal up, or just take the infections. We still need infections. And we can indeed reach it by the looks of it. Alright. And Archie would rather die than be vassalized. Actually, I assume... Wait, actually there's two things. First of all, physical and spell resistance aren't too bad. You don't have the defeat rate for Archie, though, do you? We could spend a turn sieging this, then break the siege next turn and allow Slug Blister to defeat ARCHAON, and thereby getting his defeat rate. Assuming that Archie doesn't die while besieged, I would assume not. He'll suffer attrition, but I don't think he's going to take 604 damage. It's actually at 10%. I'm not sure. Might be a decent idea, though. Though I think what we'll do is we'll save that for next time. I'm not 100% sure about this. Hey, Bilious Thunderguff unlocked and a Rotfly for Slug Blister, but I'm not sure about this, but we might be able to vassalize Archie by defeating him here, or subjugate him. I'm not 100% sure, however, that it's really worth our time, in the sense that while it would probably be somewhat lorefully accurate, as Tamurkhan probably would like to collect more allies, like he did Drajuath and the Chaos Dwarfs, rather than just destroy everybody. But on the other hand, from a gameplay perspective, these guys, vassals, are awful. They're just awful. They're not very good. And frankly, ARCHAON would probably be competing with us for territory even if we did vassalize him. So I'm not so sure that that's the way to go. And I'm thinking we should just destroy him as an example, and if possible get the free defeat trait on Slug Blister while we're at it. I would, however, like to know what you guys think of that idea, so do please let me know in the comments below, and then we'll decide. Next time around, speaking of next time, with Archie done, we'll take out the Cool, probably split off Slug Blister's army with a few more units and have it start working on its own while we start going after Boris Ursus, as it looks like they have expanded. We'll also start to hopefully build up the Forest of Decay, and whether this army survives or not, we'll try to defend it with Epidemius as soon as he comes back up. Looks like everything's working decently well in this campaign so far, and I'm expecting great fun ahead. Stay tuned for more Tamurkhan. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold for the hour-long episode. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.